Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. This is Abu Khadija, and I'm doing this video because of the events that just occurred today, and I feel like I should share a bit of my view about it. Today, I was supposed to be on my journey to Ibadan, first to check a resource center in Ogere for our retreat, and also to check another one in Ibadan, IIT Resource Center, for our retreat as well. I want to make a decision between both of them, which one will really fly for our couples retreat. Sorry for the state for my state, because I'm kind of a bit emotional about it, about the whole situation. So I'm sorry the way I'm gonna flow. So I left my house hoping that I'm gonna do that, then sort out some stuff in the University of Ibadan as well, and then move from there to my parents, to my hometown, Abeokuta, inshallah. I want to see my parents by Allah's grace tomorrow for a discussion. So that was the plan that I had earlier in the day. And then I left my house saying goodbye to my kids and all that. For every Muslim, when you want to travel, you have to do your askar and all that. And then you hope to Allah that He give you a safe journey. And then I noticed that I had issue with a part of my car, which is the what do you call it? The belt was kind of peeling off, and so I took the car, to my mechanic. The mechanic also in my workplace in Surulere. Then he was able to fix it, and I left to do because I just did the service recently. So I did the alignment and all that, and wheel balancing. Then coming back, I found that my car has gone back to zero again. Like the wheel is not moving. Then the battery light was on, and I was like, what is going on? So as I was coming, I just like, okay, let me try to manage this car till I get to the mechanic place. Unfortunately, the car stopped at Eric Moore, you understand, opposite Sun Flag company. So, and I called the mechanic to come around. He said he's coming. So I was waiting. As I was waiting there, suddenly I just saw a car coming with a very high speed on the other side of the road. Very high speed. And there was a logistic guy on Okada trying to, want to cross the road to my own side. Before I know it, this guy just hits this guy, along with the passenger on it. As in, I've not seen this before. I've always seen this in a movie. And, he hits them to the extent that they flew in the air. Like, I can see it practically, like, what is this? And by the time both of them are landing on the floor, wallahi, tallahi, summa billahi lawa, the head of the rider, the driver, was already turned. His leg was already caved in, like turned. And the lady too, that was the passenger, she has already hit her head on the floor, and she was bleeding. It was an horrific, scene. I was only shouting, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Because if the driver on that spot has decided he will not hit them and swerve, to the right, to the left side, definitely is coming to me. Because I was just like opposite where these guys were. If he has just turned the wheel, like he's trying to save them, it will have been me. Alhamdulillah. But for those people, it was really, really, really bad. It was really, really bad. I was still in shock of this. I was in so much pain. Like, I've never seen this before. Yes, I've seen so many of this in the movie, or when we're watching TV, or maybe in the news or wherever. But I've never seen this myself live. And so I was shocked. It was really, really shocking. As I was waiting for the driver, we were trying to help those people. I had to lock the car because all those guys, people who just come from everywhere and all that. And Uh, by the time my mechanic came around, and he was also shocked because the car passed him, and he saw the impact from afar. Allah Akbar. So in the process, we tried to, help those people that were injured. The driver of the vehicle also came out. People were shouting at him and all that. And later, a vehicle came and they were able to rush those people to the hospital. And I left the scene. I went back into my own car, talking to my mechanic, and I was just like, okay, normally when things like that happen, I have a call group, about four of us that we do normally talk all the time. Maybe planning event, planning a lot of stuff and all that. They are call Miss Me guys. And then I was just about telling them that, subhanallah, Allah just saved me. And this is, I witnessed a terrible accident. And alas, I saw a message from one of them saying that Ustadh AbdulRahman Lekki is dead. I was so shocked. I don't know how to describe it. It was so sudden for me that I started tearing. Sincerely, not because he was dead, you understand, because I know that all of us are gonna go, and and then we're gonna meet him to account for all I did. What came to my mind is that I just saw a terrible scene that could have been me, you understand. And then again, as I'm opening my phone, I can see that someone, so close that I've worked with, just died. And I felt like, subhanallah, what have I put forward? Wallahi, that was what was on my mind. Like, what have I put forward? How much have I done? What if right here, right now, I die? What am I going to account for? Is it the little that I've done? Is it really enough? Now, what about my sin? As in, can I really go ahead to meet Allah with things that I've done that I know that are wrong? I felt so sad. I was tearing, I was crying. My mechanic passed round. He saw me, was like, maybe he thought it was the shock of what really happened, but my mind has really gone far, you understand, beyond what I'm seeing, beyond the news of Ustadh AbdulRahman Lekki. It was all about me thinking, what if that was my moment as well? What's going to be the next? Well, the funny part is that this morning, while I was trying to do awareness for Miss Me marriage workshop, I posted the video that Ustaz AbdulRahman Lekki was in. It was one of our facilitators. In fact, I stopped at the point where he was doing the opening dua, where he recited Surah Al-Fatiha this morning, early this morning, and I was told he died this morning. So I was like, what a correlation. For me, I felt good that that's a good sabbath for him. It's a good deed for him. I don't even know what time he died in the morning, but it was this morning that was showcasing what he has done way back. That video was 2011. That was the first symposium, marriage symposium that Miss Me had at Lekki Central Mosque. And it was, I don't know, it was just so much. It was just so much. And I couldn't stop myself, but I started crying. And looking at it, Ustaz died this morning. I was just sharing things about him that he got involved in. I was like, subhanallah, look at life. Look at the advice that we've been given, that we should always do good deeds. We don't know how much of good that we need to do. We don't even know the one that Allah is going to accept. But what I was so sure about is that what he has done way back, and I'm just sharing it today for people on the day that he died, I see it as a good sign for him. Like, a lot of people will see the video, they will benefit one way around it, The video might be a motivation for one or two people to come for, for Miss Me marriage workshop. And wallahi, it's going to be a sadaqah jariyah for him because he has done the good deed and he's no more. He cannot do anything anymore. But that particular video is there, you understand, to teach people one thing or the other, and it allows his reward to continue by Allah's grace. Allah Akbar. So my point in the end is that every single one of us should always strive to do good. No matter how hard it is, we should always try to continue doing good. We should not care about the people that we are doing it for, whether they appreciate us or they do not appreciate us. We shouldn't care whether our ideology is the same or not, whether we are aligned in our opinion or not. We should do good, provided that good is supported by Quran and Sunnah. Provided that deed, what they are getting, what they are doing, there is no contrast, there is nothing negating the Quran and Sunnah. Please, for Allah's sake, let's endeavor, to contribute, to be part of it, to help, to support. It doesn't have to be money. Money is not everything. You understand? Like, for example, we have this workshop that we want to do. We need so much. Yeah, money is a good part of it. But it's not just money. We need people to support. We need resources. We need people that are really smart, that can do one thing or the other. Nobody is an island. No one can do things, by themselves. Yeah, funding is good for us to move very fast. So if you have the fund, contribute. Let's be supportive of these things. If you don't have money, if it is the knowledge that Allah has given you, contribute to it. If it is the manpower that you have, resources, people that can help us get things done, support it with it. Wallahi, it's not us that is going to reward you. It is Allah. And it is these things that you've done that is going to serve as sadaqah jariyah for you when you are gone in the grave. Our brother is now going back to his Lord. He's in the grave now. And it is this good deed that is going to go with him. This is solid. These are things that the scholars told us, and this is happening real in our own lifetime. We can see it happening. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our brother's shortcomings and grant him mercy in the grave and grant him mercy on the day of Qiyamah and reward him with Jannah with all that he has done. We ask Allah to forgive all his misdeeds because we are all human, and save him from the punishment of the grave and the punishment of hell. And may Allah make it easy for all of us to do good deeds. Good deeds that can save us, that can grant us his mercy. Because whatever we do will not really be enough unless Allah grants his mercy to us. So I seek Allah's help. We seek Allah's mercy to crown everything that we are putting forward. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I was doing my youth service. I told them I was going to get married. They said, why? Afar. You want to get married? And I said, yes. Is that Islam? And I told them that is Islam. Because I was the mufti, nobody else will tell them anything. How was Islam? Say, but you don't have a job now. I said, yes, but you don't need so much expenses and coming back to the sisters. I told my father, when we were going to get married, sorry, he was asking me, what do we need to prepare? Money. I said, no, don't worry, you don't need all of that. And I told my sister, the one I was going to get married to, said we are going to get married, inshallah, by December. Because I had proposed. And by December, we should get married. It's about some 3 months or 4 months after my proposal. And he said, we still have to do this. And I told her, said, I love you and you love me. By December, I will get married. Whether to you or she knew well this man was in for it. I said, okay, now let's begin to plan the marriage. I said, okay, then the IVs and the marriage. I said, for my marriage, no IV. And if you want me to print IV on one condition, I said on the IV, my IV will be a meal ticket. Anybody coming for my nikah will pay for the IV, and that will be the basis for you to be served food. I said, in that case, please don't print IV, because she knew if she pestered me, I would do it. And you can imagine, so she agreed, and to God be the glory, the marriage was so simple, and up till now, we are still together, and about 15 years now, 15 years on, we thank God. But most importantly, for sisters and brothers, like we said earlier, the most important thing is for you and the man to understand Islam, to understand marriage, to understand what you are going into. And if you do that, it will be all good. I will return to one hadith the Prophet said to back up what the scholars have said. The Prophet said, Mohoba manis ti ishara wala nodama manis ti hara. That he will never lose he who consults Allah, and he will never regret he who consults man. In this case, going to consult man, we are not saying you go and consult the soothsayer, but istishara means you consult your friends. You told not just your friend who you don't trust, you consult the scholars, you consult the marriage experts, you consult people about the man you want to get married to, you learn about marriage, you have attended an academy over time about marriage. If that is done, I tell you, and you do your istihara, you leave the rest to Allah. Inshallah, it will work. And if it doesn't, that is the will of Allah. Wallahu alam.